It's October 2024 and Tesla have just updated the UK configurator to include a 7-seat version of the ever-popular Tesla Model Y. But how much space is there in the back of those seats? Well, I'm going to show you in this video because I have tested one previously. It's been available in the States, just never come to the UK yet. Now, there's not a lot of room, so I'm going to show you exactly how much space there is. Can you fit adults in it? Will it suit your needs? Well, you're going to have to decide that one, but I can show you how well I fit in the back of one. And I can talk to you as well about what other potential other options are there if you really need a 7-seater electric vehicle in the UK. There's not much choice out there, but I do have some comparisons I can show you. So let's have a look at the Tesla UK configurator here. Now, typically to date, since this car first arrived in the UK, since early 2022, we've had the standard range, long range, and then the performance variant followed. Now the standard range has been dropped. We've got long range rear-wheel drive, long range dual motor, and the performance. But this 7-seat option is only available on the long range dual motor, at least at the moment. Maybe that will change in the future. At the moment, it's October 2024, and that's what's available. Now you'll see there, it's a £2,500 extra over the standard car. And that's quite a lot of money, I think, but it will add that practicality for some. And it brings out the price to £54,500 in the UK at the time of filming this. But what I think you've got to be careful of here is the space in the back is rather limited. I got to test one a couple of years ago when I was at an event in the US, and there's not a lot of space. So let me cut here to a video clip of me trying one out. Now, I'm 6 foot tall. It's quite a tall order to get 6 foot tall people in a 7-seater car. I was expecting it to be a little bit compromised, but it's rather a tight fit. And you've got headrest there. So, shall I see if I can get in this? Let's have a go. It's quite a small opening. Oh dear. It's a very small opening, in fact. And then when you're in here, ow, that's my head. Okay. This is me in the back seats. I'm going to see if I can get this seat down in this position. Hopefully I can release it again. So, I'm in, but I really couldn't do a journey. I can't sit upright in here, ow. So, I have to say this is for kids only, and I have to say it's certainly a lot smaller than a Tesla Model X. Right, and that's with that seat in a really kind of forward and upright position. Yeah. Okay, there's not a lot of room in here, so if the seat's forward, when it does it comes down like this, then you can bring it back, and then if you want to try and get somebody sat there, you probably can't see my legs, I'm literally splayed, my feet are crushed. Do you know what, I thought it might be a bit bigger than this in the back, but it really isn't. And then it's a very awkward opening as well. If I try and show you, it takes a bit of manoeuvring and a few grunty noises to get in and out of this car. Yeah. Okay, so you see the seat position there, that's with the seat forward, so you're going to need that seat back at least a bit. There's a few motors doing their thing in there, so even if I put the seat there, can I still get behind me? Not really, so the seat does need to be right back if you're 6 foot, in which case that doesn't leave a lot for rear legroom. And we've got this here, so that goes down, this goes forward. So the 5-seater, you've got storage under here as well, but then also under that section, but it really is very small in the back there. Yeah, it's not going to be a full proper 7-seater, occasional use for children only, I would suggest. Essentially, you need to have people quite short in the front, so the front seats can be moved forward. In the middle row, you need the middle row also then move forward, which you can't do if the front seats are back. And then you've got a little bit of legroom in the boot. However, the headroom is severely compromised. You've got to remember the Tesla Model Y is a very aerodynamic car, but that slopey roofline at the back means you do not have much headroom. So it is a bit of a squeeze. Now, what else is there in terms of comparative vehicles on the market? There's not a lot of choice, never has been really for 7-seat EVs. The Tesla Model X has always been there, but that's not been available with the steering wheel on the correct side of the car in the UK since 2020. So it's been 4 years now since you can buy a Tesla Model X. They're a bigger car, they've got more space. You can fit 7 adults in a Model X. It is a bit compromised. You don't want to spend hours and hours in there, but it can be done. There is a reasonable amount of space, but you'd expect so. It is a larger car. Now, one other car I think is worthy of mention here, and it's always been a bit under the radar, but the Mercedes EQB is a similar size to the Tesla Model Y, is available for not too dissimilar money, and that is a 7-seat car standard, at least in the UK. It can be a quite much more expensive car if you spec it up, but the Mercedes EQB, and you'll see some footage here that we filmed a little while ago, can fit 7 adults in it. It's surprising. The big difference with the EQB, it has a very square back end, so it actually has quite a lot of space, and a headroom in the back is reasonable. You can fit 7 adults in the back of it. Again, you wouldn't want to do it for hours and hours, but it actually has quite a bit more space than the Tesla Model Y for a similar size car. You don't have the front storage of the Model Y, and you don't have quite the efficiency and range that you get from a Model Y, but the EQB is a worthy car. I think it's always been a bit under the radar, and when I had that one before, I really rather liked it. So the EQB could be another option on your list. What else is there? Well, really the only other car at the moment is the Kia EV9. Again, we're going up in bigger scale, even bigger than a Tesla Model X. Now, there's another video I filmed with how many boxes you can fit in the back of an EV9 versus Model X. That might be out before this, it might be the next video out after this. The Kia EV9, the problem with that is it's then just getting more expensive. It is then really quite a large car. The Kia EV9 is a very long car. It's actually longer than a Land Rover Discovery, but it is available with 7 seats. And that has got the space for 7 really, and plus a boot space with it. We don't yet have the Volvo EX90, that's coming, looking forward to that. But again, we're going to be starting to talk some big money now. So they're lovely cars. The EX90 is not available yet. I've had a quick look at one at the show in Farnborough last week, and it does look very nice, but I'm sure it's going to come with a tag to go with it. 7-seat options, other than that, well, if you want real space, it's the kind of van-derived cars. Now, I've owned the Mercedes EQV for a little while, and I really rather liked it. That's got all the space in the world in the back, a proper, van space if you take all the seats out, you can swivel the seats around, but they're not that easily. Those seats are really heavy, very hard to move around. Not something you want to be doing on a daily basis for sure. But the EQV is actually a really good van. I really liked owning one. The practicality is great. But it still feels like a van, really, to be honest. It still feels like you're driving a van. But that is easily the best for sheer space and practicality if you really need that. Then you've got, in the UK at least, the Vauxhall E Vivaro. That can come as a passenger variant, not just a van. There's a Citroën derivative of the same thing, basically. And other than that, that's about it. I think there's a Citroën e-Berlingo, Peugeot e-Partner, small again, a van-derived kind of car, really. They're available. There's not much if you want something a bit more kind of car driving, a bit more luxury out there. So Kia EV9 for something big, Mercedes EQB, similar size to the Model Y, but actually with some reasonably usable 7 seats, or the Model Y is available. Great car, but just beware, it is rather limited, so make sure you test one out first, really, and make sure it will suit your needs, because it is just that little bit compromised, mainly because of the shape of the roof line and just a lack of rear legroom. A few extra inches would have been great. That's what she said. So I hope that's been a useful little run through. Let me know if you're ordering one. And by the way, you will see in the description below a referral link. If you click through that referral link and order from that, you could get, at least at the moment, £1,000 off a new Tesla. So check out the description below for those links. Otherwise, we'll see you in the next video very soon. Make sure you are subscribed, and then we'll see you then. Thank you very much for watching.